Okay, fresh from the theater. Clearly you saw we both went right after work. Right, as you can see. Saw Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
The latest DC movie. He has been confirmed to be a part of the new DCU, so this is actually one that's, I guess, they're marketing it as worth watching because, it's not going to get erased with everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
We've talked about that for a while now.
Yeah, so
would it be worth watching?
So good job. And this one, I've had a rocky path here. It's supposed to be on HBO Max with the old leadership. New leadership came in and basically gutted HBO Max. They canceled the whole Batgirl movie, but they decided to keep this one and put it in theaters.
It's in a vault somewhere.
Yeah.
They just need to release it.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get this story about the third Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. And yeah, man, it's his origin story. All right, Joe. So with this one, obviously, I'm gonna do what we do. I'll start with the sour before I get to the sweet. Okay, so this movie is 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Shit, for real?
Yeah, I think about
That's
40 of those minutes could have been cut.
That's why I had to pee.
Like this.
I had to pee for at least 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's a very basic story, honestly.
It really is.
There are no twists or anything in this story. And if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the whole movie. If you've seen both trailers, you've seen the whole movie. And in fact, everything cool that happened in the trailers is all the cool stuff in the movie.
Yeah, and we called that out when the first time we saw the first trailer.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Right.
So yeah, this movie, like I said, it's a little too long. Their scenes seem to linger longer than they need to. Like
the entire movie.
I mean, for example, if someone is sad and they're telling you a story and they're crying through the story, right? Like let's say me and you were talking.
Yeah.
If you get up and leave, the scene should be over.
Right.
But it's like it stayed on me. It stayed on me. Like just imagine if it stayed on me just crying for like an extra 10 or 20 seconds. It's like
that's
why
a
are you?
perfect example of the
it's
the
like
extra.
Yeah, the length of the scene was just it was just kept going when it was like we should have moved on from this already. And it happens a lot in a lot of different scenes.
No, it is literally. I completely agree. Like that's gonna be one of my. Bad.
Yeah.
It's just like why yeah. Like the cutting room wasn't. They didn't cut.
Yeah, they didn't cut enough. That's exactly true.
That's it. Yeah.
Also, I mean, the movie, it's like you said it perfectly. It's giving like Spy Kids.
Yes. Y'all, when I'm watching, I was like, "What is this, Spy Kids?"
But here's the thing.
Hey, Spy Kids
was
awesome.
Yeah, Spy Kids was good.
Yeah.
It's tonally, like the tone of this movie is weird. It changes a lot. Mm-hmm. Where at first it seems like it's marketed straight for children, which I'm like, all right, let me change my mindset.
Hey,
but then if it's marketed for children, there's a lot of dialogue that children are just not going to pay attention to.
Some adult things.
And
children are not going to care.
And also, they'll be doing something that seems like it's for kids, and all of a sudden they just start cursing out of nowhere, right? And I'm like, whoa, that was a change. Or, it seems like it's bright colors and everything, then blood splatter. It's I don't know what was going on. It seems like there were two different voices here.
Right. I called it out. I was like, whoa, okay. Oh, he doesn't kill. He's not like Superman. And then all of a sudden something happens, and I'm like, I guess Blue Beetle doesn't kill, but everybody else in this universe still kills.
Yeah, that's exactly true. It's funny. He doesn't kill, but then, you see his family, they're just, murdering people. Yeah, it's what's going on?
What?
Gosh. And then, the tone was a little weird. And then the last thing I just want to mention, the villain in this movie was, copy-paste. It was racist white lady played by Susan Sarandon. And then she had her generic companion who's, it's the tropes of all the old Marvel movies. He's the same powers as Blue Beetle, except he's evil.
He's evil, and he's Hispanic like everybody else. Just
yeah. But it's what's funny is in the third act, you actually get to see a little bit of his past.
Yes. And
that they should have just expanded that. Yeah. Honestly, that could have been a whole movie itself.
I would have enjoyed that.
Yeah, he's so it's OMAC. If you comic readers, it's OMAC, one of the OMAC robots. Yeah. So that's really what kind of sunk the movie a little bit for me.
So, like,
but all that to say,
yeah.
I still actually, and I walked
was waiting
out
for it.
I
Yeah.
walked out enjoying it.
Right.
I really did.
I was waiting for it
Yeah.
because I could tell Sam enjoyed it.
Yeah. So
Yes,
I
yeah.
mean, Zolo Mariduena, my man, like from Cobra Kai, he brings the same energy. Meaning, it's so easy to just root for this kid.
Yeah.
It's like he's someone like you can relate to, and you're like, I want you to succeed.
You wanted him to win the whole time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When him and his family are really like the stars of this movie, more so than any of the Blue Beetle action, which there's not a lot of action. That's also something. There's not enough action in this movie, but you saw it all in the trailer.
You saw it in the trailer, and then what you're going to get that you didn't see in the trailer is that family and their interactions and their messages, and like that is what the movie is.
Yeah, that's what the movie's about. It's not about the action, honestly. No. Which I mean, again, my kids might not really like that.
Right.
But so like the family was good. Like you said, it's great to see. It was great to see like the Latino culture, explored here.
Hey,
y'all
know us. Representation matters.
I mean, like, right? So I mean, that's why movies are great. You get to they show you things you might not normally see in your everyday life. Right. I love seeing that. I mean, you got to see what they go through, what they struggle with, their family dynamic and their community. It was just so good. It was so heartwarming. His relationship with his dad, it was so good.
That got me.
And
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was over there like, I was like, I just got popcorn in my eye. It's like, yeah.
I do think his sister, she was like, I guess, crude and mean, and I guess it was
Amy Wong. She gave me Amy Wong type comedy. Like, she was just so at you.
Yeah, I guess she was supposed to be like ironically charming, but to me personally, it didn't work for me.
It didn't come through if you're not gonna make her like a character, right? That's what I was getting the whole time. Like, y'all are really pushing her personality on everybody.
Yeah.
In this whole every scene she's in, she takes up too much of it.
Yeah. I agree. And also, like, and just speaking with that, something else I forgot to mention. There's a lot of things that I guess I didn't really enjoy that much.
Right.
So and this is a personal thing. I don't think this ruins the movie, but the way they acted, like the way they read their lines and spoke, again, it seemed very catered towards kids.
Mm-hmm.
But then some of the lines, again, like, you're speaking in a way that's catered towards kids, but you're saying something that's very adult.
Right.
So,
that's what I was getting the whole time. Like, I was like, oh, this is like an old comic movie that's very kiddie, and it was made for that demographic. But like, there's like, again, I said there's so many messages.
Yeah.
A kid's gonna be like, all right, where's Blue Beetle at?
I got two more goods, and I'm gonna throw it to you.
Okay.
First, the suit. The suit is fire.
Oh, amazing.
I mean, it's completely practical. There's no CGI in the suit. He's wearing a suit that it lights up practically. There's no CGI. It looks spectacular.
So
say what you will about their movies, but these DC costumes, this and the Supergirl one that comes to mind, that guys are amazing.
Oh gosh,
so good. And then this movie, as much as I'm saying, like, like I said, the story's basic and the acting was kiddie, they make a decision in this movie. Something happened, something very dramatic. And when it happened, I'm just sitting back and I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, I'm thinking like all comic movies, there are no consequences here. But then, later in the movie, I'm like, oh, you're sticking with that choice. Okay, did not see it coming. So, good job, movie. Like,
right.
Actions have consequences, and I like that this movie it's one of the few movies in comic book movies, honestly, I could think of that actually showed that, not everyone is just immortal and bulletproof, and everything you do is just going to work out in the end.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I like that. Now I'm done. I will pass it to you.
I don't have any other bad because I chimed in towards all of yours. It's just like the general thing is very, very outlandish line. Like, everything about it is very like, oh, this is just a comic story, right? Which I love. That did not take away from it, but we haven't got that from DC. in a long time. Even with Shazam, it was just like y'all trying to be funny, but there's still like this serious undertone.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I was like, this
Yeah.
is kind of like Shazam.
Yeah.
Although I think Shazam was a better movie in my opinion, but go ahead. I know you didn't like it. But
I had to get past the forced comedy.
Yeah.
This one, like, there's certain characters that are just extra, and that's going to be fun for kids. They have to grab that market again, and I get that. I think that's why I can't really. That's my middle.
Yeah.
Like, your comedy was a little like, sometimes a little cringy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a cheesy movie. Like,
yeah.
come on, there's a lot of cheese.
But if we're really going to get this character and we're going to get more expansion, so stay for one of the extra credit scenes. The last one is not important unless somehow they
I don't know.
tie that into the story.
I think it was just a joke.
Yeah.
All it was, yeah.
It, like, tying him, the family, the love interest, all that, the old Blue Beetles.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like,
yeah.
I love that they acknowledge
Yeah.
other Blue Beetles exist in this world,
Right. And
which is very interesting. That's why I'm like looking forward to seeing what's next with this guy.
So like all that is like A+ for me. That made it. I'm like, cool. You made a movie, and you know, usually when they do that, it's fan service or it's really, really bad, like it's forced. This was natural progression. This made sense to the story. They explained without even saying words where the scarab came from and that they were different Blue Beetles.
Yeah.
You don't get that anymore. People just get their powers and then they start fighting.
Yeah. Which is maybe why that's this movie was made this way, where there's not a lot of fighting in the movie.
No.
Again,
And he's learning
everything you've seen in the trailer, and like everything you've seen in the trailer are the only times he's in the suit. Like, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, that hallway when he's red and he pounds his fist. Obviously, the iconic joint when he kicks his sword. When he's flying and you see him cut through the bus. Like, that's the only time he's in the suit. But
it's a little like, it's such a good suit for y'all not to have used it, and for the scenes to be that long.
Yeah,
there's something that they took out probably that was gonna be badass. Like, the fight sequences were pretty cool. Again, it was like kind of kiddie. Like, everybody's flying everywhere. There's punches. Talk about consequences. There's certain things I'm like, would that person be dead?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you got hit with a blast, like something. He has this thing where he pushes out just pure energy.
Yeah.
If you got hit with that,
but he wasn't killing, remember? So he was okay with it.
Yeah. So I don't know, but again, fun time in the movies. The kids are gonna like this joint. It's long though, so you're gonna have to take them on a pee break. Yeah. The only kids that were in the theater with us left twice. So that I don't know. I got to take a point off for that, because it may be it's too long.
It is too long.
It's too long.
Definitely too long.
Yeah.
Again, the story that was told could have been told in an hour and a half, and I think it would have been fine.
And it would have been great. And for this to have been go on to straight HBO Max. I'm like, is that why they didn't care? Because you can pause it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think, but I mean, I think that, just seriously, I think the biggest note would just be, you fix those tonal issues, the tone shifting a lot.
Yeah.
I think you'd be good.
I'd like him to be not the comic relief, but his story, his part of this universe, because he went to Gotham Law. So we know,
which is great. He went to Gotham for 4 years and he survived.
And he survived. So it's like, so we know Gotham City. And they mention Central City too.
Yeah, and Metropolis.
So it's like, yeah, we hear you. This is the DC guy, so he caught more than I did. But we hear you. You're trying to say that this person exists in this universe. Yeah. You're trying to say that yes, they can go help. Like, now that this character exists, they have this beetle on their back.
Yeah,
they can go help and kind of like fix the things that we're going to get created, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, man.
A whole new universe is going to come after this movie.
After Aquaman.
to see the third Aquaman.
Exactly. Second Aquaman.
Second? No, third.
Second. There's not been a second Aquaman.
Hold on.
There's only been one in 2018. That was it.
That was all one movie?
Yes, bro. That was all one movie.
Okay. Well, hey. What are you giving it?
Yeah, so real quick, just something you mentioned about comic relief. Something I don't think either of us mentioned. George Lopez is in this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would like him. He was fine. I enjoyed his character.
Yeah, I feel like he
as a comedian, he did his job very well. So I just wanted to give kudos there.
Super outlandish comedy. That's great for kids. Kids are gonna laugh at that stupid shit. They're gonna it's like they're gonna I even got caught a few times. Yeah. And it's like he's just outrageous, but that's how he is on stage. So,
I think this is hard. I'm probably going to give this one a 3.5.
I don't think that's hard. I think that's honest. That's what I was going to give it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's between 3 and 3.5, but I do think it did more right than it did. Again, because I left the movie and I enjoyed it, that's why I'll give it that.
No, it's 3.5.
Yeah, small couch review score. 3.5. All right, y'all. Blue Beetle is out now. Once you watch it, come back here. Let us know. As Joey's saying, right down there in the comments, please. You guys have been great.
Let's talk about this one.
Yeah, man. And yeah, if you like what you see here, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button and the bell. Boom. All right. And until next time, we out.
Deuces.